All right, good morning to all of you. Saturday, April 1st. How about that? All right, so um, we're recapping yesterday's games, and to sum everything up with yesterday, we can say great goalies. It was a night of goaltending in spite of the scores. And so I want to take a little bit of time as we're going through this with the recaps, talking about some incredible performances by the goaltending throughout the league. So we're starting off with the Black Bears getting a 6-2 win over Elmira, and shots on goal 73-22. Now that is nowhere near an FPHL record, even though there's not an official record book for the FPHL. I'm told that there was a time or two that the old Akwesasne Warriors got 90 shots in a game. So um, anyway, so Thomas Prowlock, yeah, 67 saves. He would have had 69, except for he was handcuffed by his defenseman quite literally twice. So two times Binghamton scored, and he had no opportunity to make the save. Um, so he just had a phenomenal night. Should have gotten a star of the game. In spite of surrendering 6 goals, he was fantastic. Connor Smith, the collegian from Adrian College, had 2 goals and an assist in his first pro game. Tyson Kirkby, 2 goals, and that got him to the 100-point plateau as far as his FBHL career. So congratulations to Tyson Kirkby. Luke Richards had a goal and an assist for Elmira in a losing cause. Jurich, no goals, no assist. So the search goes on for the all-time record for goals for Tyler Jurich. All right, Taylor Joseph played solid. How I have this prioritized is from the top to the bottom. What I think was the best performance of the night to, I can't say the worst because goalies ruled last night. But anyway, Joseph, he had to make a few saves, but for the most part, he really wasn't challenged. Still saved 20 of 22. All right, we go to Motor City against Port Huron. We actually go to Port Huron because that's where the game was. 4-3 in overtime, and before the games that even started yesterday, I had said this is my pick for series of the weekend, and boy was I right. Fantastic game, back and forth battle all night. These guys are about as evenly matched as you can imagine. Right now, Motor City holds an 8-7 lead as far as wins in the series, and they have a 1 goal advantage. Excuse me, a 3 goal advantage. Sorry, I thought that backwards. So Scott Koash got the game-winning goal in overtime. Motor City was up 3-1, and Port Huron stormed back in the last 7 minutes of the third period. Alex Johnson, a goal and assist. 2 goals by Brad Ryder for the Rockers. Late in the third period, had a scary moment. Evan Foley took a shot off the foot, and he was not able to return. He was in a lot of pain. So we're hoping that Foley is okay. That's nothing more than perhaps a bruise or just a stinger from the shot. But yeah, he had to be helped off the ice into the locker room. So our thoughts go to Evan Foley, hoping that he's okay. So Motor City gains 1 point in the race between these two teams because Motor City is third in the Continental Division. Port Huron is fourth. And that's going to be a battle. The Continental Division is very tight. The seedings aren't going to be decided until right at the very end of the year. So very interesting playoff races to watch. In Danbury, 5-0 shutout for the Hat Tricks. Um, Here we go. Spencer Kozlowski, 60 saves in 65 opportunities. Stood on his head again. The last 3 games that Kozlowski has been in, he has made 130 saves in 3 games. No, that's not right. Excuse me. 180 saves in 3 games. That's incredible. So yeah, 63 saves, 60 saves, 57 saves. So Kozlowski is definitely continuing the long string of succession as far as great goaltenders that go through Delaware. Okay, so Lucas Demenedit, he got the goal and assist. Brendan Sheehan also had a goal and assist. Excuse me, Demenedit had 2 assists. Sorry about that. Again, this could possibly be the last visit by Delaware to Danbury, depending on how things pan out with the fairgrounds lease and all that kind of situation. But it was very interesting. Several players from the Hat Tricks came out to take pictures with Alex Basie at the end. So that was kind of a telling moment there, in my opinion, after the game was all done. So we'll see what happens there. All right, back to the games last night. Watertown, they hosted the Columbus River Dragons for the only time this year. Came on the short end of the decision, 4-1. River Dragons, 4 different goal scorers, and they chased Owen Liskovitz, who had started in goal for Watertown. So Adam Wisco came in at the 19-minute mark and played phenomenal. 25 out of 25 in the save department. So the only goal that was given up after he had taken his place in net was when he was pulled for an extra attacker. So that doesn't go against Wisco. So definitely Wisco's best outing of the night or of the year so far. Lane King and Jacob Kelly both had 2 assists for the River Dragons. And Zach Horn did score midway through the third to break up Brendan Colgan's bid for an 8th shutout. If Colgan does hit that 8 shutout mark, it wasn't going to happen last night. But anyway, so Watertown again falters. But they lost, but Elmira also lost, so the seedings are still the same at the moment in the Empire Division. And the last game of the night, it was a nail biter. It was Mississippi traveling to Carolina. Carolina squeaks out a 3-2 win. Carolina came from behind to take this one. Dawson Baker scored the game-winning goal at about the 16-minute mark of the second period. And Jake Raleigh had a goal and assist in a losing effort. Daniel Martin, Carolina's defenseman, he had 2 assists. Joe Shepard stopped 37 of 40 shots, and many of them high-quality chances. So Carolina clinches at least second. So meaning that they have home ice advantage for the first round of the playoffs. Whether they can catch up to Columbus and end up in first, we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, there was no changes in position in the standings last night after all these games took place. But some of the races got a little bit more settled, and others are still left wide open. Right now, we have in the Continental Division, we have Columbus and Carolina, first and second, and then we have Motor City and Port Huron for the third and fourth battle, which, again, those are still wide open. In the Empire, it's a little bit more settled. Danbury is clinched first. Binghamton is clinched second. And right at this point, third and fourth still has to be decided between Watertown and Elmira. So the magic numbers for clinching their respective positions. For Columbus, they still need 12 points. So yeah, it's not. It's going to come right down to the end. Uh, 12 points clinches them first. Motor City to clinch third place because they can't reach second. They need 8 more points. And of course, Motor City hosts Port Huron tonight in the back end of the home and home series. Watertown's magic number is 14. That's the biggest number left. And that's partly due to the fact that they have played the fewest games of anyone so far in the FPHL. So looking at some of the other performances, I noted them. If the team is in red, or if the player is in red, it was a win. Blue is a loss. And you'll notice, I mean, this is my opinion as far as these were the best performances, and the top three goalies, in my opinion, ended up taking an L. But played really, really well. And that's not to take away anything from the rest of the goaltenders. Brian Wilson, he gets a shutout. He got the first start of the game, which, okay, great. He got a shutout. It was 17 shots, and there were only about 4 or 5 high quality chances that Delaware put on Wilson. So that's why I have him kind of more towards the bottom. Congratulations, Brian Wilson. He is now second in the league with 3 shutouts, behind Brandon Colgan, of course. But Boris Babick, 31 saves and many, many chances. I'd say that Carolina-Mississippi game, watching the replays, you had 33 shots by Mississippi, 40 shots by Carolina, and almost all of those 73 shots were high danger chances. Both goaltenders played fantastic. Joe Shepard, 37 saves and a losing effort, 925 save percentage in 59 minutes. It was great. You go to the Rockers Port Huron series, and boy, that game was great. That was fantastic. You didn't know from 1 minute to the next who was going to end up pulling out the victory. But Brian Taliu, he's just getting his feet wet in the pros, and he's played very admirably. I believe this was his third start, 30 of 34, which, okay, compared to the others, the numbers aren't really great, but they were fantastic saves. He really stood tall and really kept Port Huron in the game, even when it was 3-1. Rockers for a while. Taliu just shut the door and kept the Prowlers in the game. Blake Scott, 39 saves, fantastic performance by him as well. Every goaltender, of all the goaltenders that played, the only goaltender that really didn't have a good outing was Owen Liskovitz. He surrendered 3 goals on 15 shots and was chased late in the first period. So, but that's why you have 2 good goalies. So God forbid that happens. You can put in your number 2 guy, and he can keep you in the game, like Adam Wisco did with the Wolves last night. So kudos to all of the goaltenders last night. It was a great show, especially watching it. I formerly a goaltender on the amateur level, so I love goalies. Obviously, Monday I did the piece on who I think the best 5 goalies in the league were. And so, yeah, I love goalies. So congratulations to these guys, whether you took a win or a loss in net. You all played fantastic last night. So that's what I like to see. All right, so that is the wrap up for today. Leave a comment down below. Let me know who you think your choice of goaltender of the day should be. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and continue to follow me here on at FPHL Flash on YouTube. I'm Gary Ryan, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.